Hey, everybody. How you guys doing?
Hello, good morning. Good to see you. Come get comfortable here.
Absolutely. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. But as I was watching you walk up there, I realized it is really strange to see you walk onto the stage. To see you descending from the rafters and landing in a split, normal. Roller skating backwards on the stage, normal, but walking, it just doesn't look right. So hopefully this is the last time we have to see you walk onto the stage. In 2011, you made a cameo at the halftime show.
Yeah.
And it was so incredible. And I'm wondering, what is your memory of that performance?
Man, oddly enough, there was a moment that only I think I remember. My hand got caught in the wire that was holding me like 30 feet in the air, and I almost missed my first mark. I was like, oh my God, don't let this malfunction cause me to miss something. But that was one. And the second was afterwards, and how amazing it felt to be in front of that many people and feel the energy. So much so that it made me, really passionate about eventually getting this moment that I'm getting ready to have. But it was really fueled by being able to be just in that moment with the Black Eyed Peas.
I wonder that, and I would say watching that performance, it stuck with me that I've watched it a few times. I would have never realized that you almost got stuck there because you're such an incredible showman. What I remember was you leaping over will.i.am's head, clearing it by a couple of feet, and landing in a perfect split. And I thought, this man has to headline the halftime show one day. So at that moment, you were already visualizing yourself headlining the show.
Yeah, sometimes affirmations and words of confirmation isn't enough. You have to put in the work. But great that Jay-Z and the Super Bowl would have me be able to be there to entertain the world. Las Vegas has been amazing for me. Having 100 sold out shows in a residency, and to have the next one be the crescendo, which is the Super Bowl with Apple, has really, really, really given my time here in Las Vegas an incredible button at the end.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing you couldn't plan this out, right? It feels like some of these things just have to fall into place. And this performance truly has been 30 years in the making. You dropped your first album in 1994. You followed it up with multiple classic albums and hits, like you mentioned, coming off this huge residency, only to perform on music's biggest stage. How does it feel 30 years in to still be hitting brand new heights in your career?
Feels amazing. This being, because I'm putting my album out actually on the 9th. So, this is just really a testament of dedication. I don't have this moment by myself. All of my fans that I bring with me, each and every person that had anything to do with the music, the creativity, everybody is a part of this celebratory moment. But what I feel is that this is only the beginning, because I launched that album as an independent artist, and I will be, up until this date, the only independent artist who's ever performed the Super Bowl halftime show. So this is a beginning. This is a new beginning for me.
Yeah. And it's just a testament to your hard work, right? The longevity you've had and the legacy you've created. I think we live in a time when so many artists feel pressure to have a viral moment, Now, everything has to be now, but we've seen you build this over time. And so that's incredible. And so is this also a moment for you to just sit back and reflect on all the things you've had to maneuver to get to this point?
Yeah, but I got to do it in 13 minutes. And that makes it a bit difficult, but...
You seem like a man who loves a challenge.
Oh, yeah, and it definitely has been a challenge to squeeze 30 years into 13 minutes.
Yeah,
but
how did you approach that then? Picking the right songs, the choreography, the perfect set for 13 minutes.
There's been these fantasy lists that have been going out, and people trying to figure out what song I'm going to perform first, middle, last, who's going to come on the stage with me. Yeah. What I did is I was very mindful of my past, celebrating my present, which is here in Las Vegas, and thinking about where we're headed in the future. And that was really the idea. What songs do I feel people know me for? What songs have been a celebration of all of the journey of what life and love and emotion has been offered in my music. You know, that was the idea. I thought about a few moments that were special in dance. I thought about some things that I had created here in Las Vegas, i.e. skating, and doing things that I had not, done on stage up until this point, to be able to share that with the world. For everybody that, heard about my show in Las Vegas, you'll now get a chance to see some of what I did here, but you're gonna get the best of it because it's before 60,000 people in this room, and hopefully another 180,000 people, 80 million people for the world to see.
Roller skating in front of 60,000 people.
Yeah.
So casual.
No pressure.
No pressure. But that's the thing. You have done this so much that it is in your blood, right? You've put in those 10,000 hours. So I imagine that once you step out there, it feels natural. And to your point of this being, it's a celebration for OG fans like me. I've been listening to you my entire life, it feels like. But there's a whole audience who's going to be seeing you for the very first time, which is so exciting. Yeah. How did you factor that into the performance? Also, just that brand new audience seeing Usher for the first time.
I wanted to put on a show that I felt would represent my idea of creativity. Yeah. What I've been able to do is bring a great deal of Atlanta and the melting pot that it is, musically, culturally, to Las Vegas. That is the source that has been fueling me for these years creatively. So why not make certain that the rest of the world, rather they're seeing me for the first time, or either they're celebrating because we've been, listening to me, you've been listening to my music for these years, to make certain that at least what I'm putting together is something that would be entertaining. As I said before, if you've not seen me or you've been with me. Yeah.
You are just a true showman in every sense of the word, and you're a rare breed of artist. We have very few artists who have the level of skill and talent that you do to sing and dance so well at the same time. And I wonder, what is it that is motivate you to put so much time and effort into becoming such an excellent performer?
The fact that I said I believed it, and to see that out is something that the 9-year-old who believed in me deserves, because I didn't have any of this. All I had was my vision. All I had was the idea that someday I would have fans. All I had was the idea that someday I'd find a record. All I had was the idea and the vision that eventually an audience would show up. You know those kids who take a mic in hand and they're singing and they're believing in themselves, or they look in the mirror and they're singing to an audience that's not there. I'm that kid at 9 years old that had this dream that this moment and many of the moments that I've had in my career would come true.
Right.
Yeah.
That dream, my earliest memory of you is on Star Search. I don't know if anyone remembers that show. I think that was in the early 90s.
Yeah.
And so, even back then, you've had it. So, in any moments, I think for an ambitious person, a person who wants to be great, who wants to master their craft, there are going to be highs and lows. How have you navigated some of those moments? I think for artists who are looking at you now thinking, wow, one day I hope I can be as great as Usher, what advice would you give to them?
I would hope that that what I have found resonates on many levels for artists or people, period, that what you put in, you get out. And that's it. I've been motivated, honestly, by artists like Michael Jackson, and the fact that, he was a hard worker, motivated by athletes like Michael Jordan, and the dedication that he put into his craft and his skill. He received not only accolade, but also to recognition that would make him a legend. And, that's what I've always hoped for myself, that, maybe someday I'd be recognized in the same light and in the same title as those people I just mentioned.
Well, Usher, I'm going to say that this is the day. This is the day. You've put in 30 years of work. And for anyone who hasn't had a chance to see or experience it, I'm excited. I'm truly excited and a little bit jealous of anyone who's going to be seeing it for the very first time on Sunday. At this point in your career, you have transcended any one genre. superstar status, right, because of the work, but you were born of R&B culture, and it's a culture that is so influential. R&B is everywhere, but it still doesn't get the due credit. So is it important to you to be repping R&B on the Super Bowl halftime stage?
It's nice to be in any category, but not to be categorized is what I'd always hoped. That R&B as a trade and as a style, as a genre, as an emotion, as a spirit, be it being found through gospel music, jazz, rhythm and blues, and then R&B, that then created all these other genres of music. We don't understand how relevant R&B has been to the development of the industry that we have. And the artists and the creatives that have been a part of that they didn't get recognized either. So I'm happy that R&B gets the stage on Sunday. I'm happy that R&B and rhythm and blues gets to, and the matter of what it is as song and dance performers, it gets that recognition that it deserves. I'm honored, but don't want to be categorized as just an R&B artist. I'm an artist who loves music. I'm an artist who's lived through my emotional experiences and was able to share it through this genre. But I wanted to speak to the entire world that if you believe in something and you put the work in, you can have whatever you want. You know, you can go and try and create anything that you want, rather that then becomes popular music, or that becomes like, oh, this is a, you know, and I'm a piano and an Afro beats merge that becomes this new version of R&B. Who knows? Whatever it is. I've tried so many things my entire career, and I've just managed to be able to gather people who celebrate my music and celebrate my experiences. And maybe they tied to theirs. Maybe they got married to a song. Maybe they fell in love to a song. Maybe they made love to a song. You know, maybe they, you know, celebrated and laughed and had an incredible time. Maybe they cried. Maybe they hurt. Maybe they got a chance to be confident in a way that they didn't have before they listened to that song. That's what R&B has been to me. And I hope that the rest of the world can celebrate it in the way that I've celebrated it.
That's so beautiful. We'll definitely be celebrating with you. You know, it's been incredible watching you push yourself over these 30 years and push boundaries, you know, and does it ever feel scary sometimes? It's not always easy to try something new with the whole world watching, but that's never stopped you, you know? How do you push yourself to do that?
You know what? I'm still trying to figure it out. The reality is I have this idea that if you manage to collaborate with people who are just as passionate as you, you're going to create something amazing. You know, I push myself because that's just a choice. I want to be great. I want to set standards. I want to be a standard that is seen through my passion for music, my passion for creativity, and then rather that becomes something that's artistic by way of, you know, the videos that we create or the narratives that are inside of the music that then become something else. TV series, you know, you look at, you know, people like 50 Cent, right? He creates power, right? You heard the music first, and then you then see the visuals. I'm hoping that I can do more things like that with the brands, you know, that I've created through these songs, you know. But yeah, it's just it's a matter of managing to, you know, monetize at the same time, emotionally give people an escape. You know, when you look at a movie, you relate to it. You hear a song, you relate to it. It becomes an assistant in your emotional whatever it is, right? You're crying, or you're laughing, you know. So for me, it's more than just music. It's all of those things. Most importantly, it's a connection, right? That's what I've always wanted, to have a connection to this audience of people that I might not necessarily see every day. But when they hear this song, we're connected.
We're connected, and it takes us back to such special moments. I was thinking recently about, you know, I'm hoping you might do My Boo when you got on stage. And, you know, Bae, we finally retired that, thankfully. I would love it if Boo made a comeback. Like, you've created these cultural moments that, you're right, it's connections, and it takes us back to those special moments. And it's just amazing how much you've already accomplished. But I know for, you know, an ambitious person, a creative person, there is almost always more. So what are some of the things you are visualizing next? You also have the tour coming up. Like, what are you visualizing in the next couple of years?
I visualize in this next few years that there will be more opportunity to build here in Las Vegas. I love this city. You know, when I received the key, I started trying to open doors and, you know, trying to figure out ways to do more things that activate this immersive experience that I feel like I had for an underserved audience that want to have a certain experience, that enjoyed the, you know, the curation of the world that I created when I was here in Las Vegas. Where does that lead me? I don't know. Maybe it's businesses. Maybe it's more shows. Maybe it's shows that I curate. Maybe it's festivals like the Lovers and Friends Festival. Maybe it's, you know, hotels. Maybe it's, you know, a different idea and standard for artists who came from this world and then created business here in this town, you know?
So much to look forward to.
Yeah.
Anything is possible. I mean, you got Tim Cook to make, make his acting debut, you know, while trying to find you. So I think anything really is possible. And
it's possible if you believe it.
Yeah. Believing and putting in the work. I don't think you could say that enough times. Just people don't get to see the work that you put in behind the scenes, but your friends know. You know, Luda and Lil Jon definitely know. Like, you've collaborated with these people, and there's so many people who have been so important on your journey until this point. So when it came to thinking about putting together the Super Bowl show, was it easy? If you're gonna have guest performers, I don't know anything, you know, were there people you thought of immediately to join you on that stage if you're having performers?
Of course.
Was it hard? There's a lot of them. You've had a lot of good friends that you've worked and collaborated with.
I think I made it easy for myself when I decided to have like features on songs that became hit records. So that that gave me the greatest point of reference. But here's what's beautiful is that Apple has been following me throughout this entire process. So we're in the process of, you know, figuring out how we're going to share it with you. Break the internet by that conversation. But there's also too a documentary crew that's been collecting all of the moments that have happened. You know, so there's cameras around us at all times looking at, you know, the process that we went through. You know, you get a chance to see from the first moment that I got the call all the way up into the moment that I walk off the stage. Yeah, at least that's the idea. But I am definitely, you know, went through a lot of ideas of who I would have share this moment with me. And I do feel like the people who are going to share it deserve just as much recognition for what they do in their careers, rather we have collaborated together or rather they've had moments of their own. There's also two very special things that I've woven into this entire performance, things that speak to culture, things that speak to quality, things that speak to my creativity. You know, as you know, I'm skating. So the idea of being able to skate on skates that I created is something that I'm really looking forward to doing. But this, you know, this has just been an amazing time in my life. And I'm so happy that, you know, God and the universe has kind of led me to this moment. What it means to other people and how they believe in themselves, you know, that's up to them. But me, I'm really a product of my belief. I'm a product of believing that I could come to this city and I could do something amazing. And it's happened. And I ain't done here. I'm going to continue to keep going. Past, present, future is my tour. And I plan on now sharing a bit of this energy that I created here with the rest of the world.
Looking forward to it. And, you know, once you get off that halftime show stage, we have a new album to enjoy. Yeah. Album number 9, Coming Home. You know, how does it also feel then, to step off and be able to share this new body of work? And also there's some really nice, the city of Atlanta is going to be going crazy when you're performing. There's also some beautiful moments. A lot of artists from Atlanta even featured on the project. So what is that like for you?
I mean, it wasn't easy to do, but I turned Vegas to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? I took that V and turned it upside down, you know what I'm saying? Or either took the A and turned it to a V. But, you know, that was, you know, the influence that Atlanta has had on me, so much so that I collected everything that I experienced, I benefited from, in Atlanta and brought that culture to Las Vegas and now to the rest of the world on the Super Bowl halftime show.
It's going to be incredible.
Yeah, but the album, is which we're talking about, right? You know, it's just really the last really 5 years of my life. There was a huge stop in the middle of that because of the pandemic and what that offered. And then coming back out of it, I needed a little bit of motivation, which is why I decided to put my shows on sale in Las Vegas. There was no promise. It was a real bold move. And, you know, I decided to move forward. And since then, since that moment of belief, this has happened. And now I'm ready to share some of what I was working on before and what I worked on after I decided to start my shows here in Las Vegas. My 9th album, Coming Home, working and building with L.A. Reid, who is my partner, and Mega, our label. I'm our first artist. And again, as I said, I'm the first independent artist to ever play the Super Bowl.
So inspirational. I feel like I need to go build something big. I'm inspired by this conversation.